Hello and welcome to my POV review of my 2020 Mini John Cooper Works. I bought it about 4 or 5 weeks ago, managed about 600 miles in it so far thanks to lockdown and working from home, and I just wanted to give you a little tour of it. I've spec'd it out quite highly. It's got most of the options apart from the Matrix headlights, the sunroof and the heated front screen. Other than that, I've ticked pretty much every option on the list. So just wanted to show you what happens if you go crazy with the options list for the Mini. So if we start around the back, let's just have a look in the boot. And it's not that small, it's not that big either, but what you can do is just move these seats forward, push that out. Just gives you a little bit more space if you need it, which is quite nice. You've also got this little hidden floor just underneath, and what's also quite nice is you can pull this out and move it up and just have that there, so that when you fold the seats forward you actually have a really flat space, which is pretty clever. So that's enough of the boot. If we have a look under the bonnet, because that is what everyone wants to do. Typical pull it twice, it's a BMW. So under the bonnet it is the typical Mini 2-litre turbo, and as you can see it's really nice and clean because it is brand new. Now this is in the midnight black colour, and although it's only 5 weeks old, we've already starting to get a few blemishes, like there, and there's another one there as well. I'm not sure if you could see that, and there, but this is going back to the dealer on Tuesday, and we'll see what they say about fixing that up. So like I say, it's only about 5 weeks old. It had the auto glim on it, and so I wouldn't really expect that from a brand new car. I've certainly not had it in any other car that I've had before. So looking at the back of the car, you've got the John Cooper Works tailpipes. They're not the Pro ones, they don't do those anymore, because with this being a brand new car, it's got the GPF, OPF, PPF, whatever you want to call it. That's what's on there. We've got the standard 17-inch wheels. I didn't want to spec those up to the 18s because I didn't want to get the run flat tyres. I wanted the normal tyres, so I've heard that gives you a slightly softer ride, and especially seeing as I've configured this with the adaptive suspension, I didn't want it to be too harsh by default, because I know that it's going to get a little bit harder once I put it into sport mode. So we've got comfort access on here, so all you need to do is just have the key in your pocket, and if you press and hold it, then the windows fold up, and that's the same for whether or not it's if you use the door button or if you use the key. The lights, as you can see, it's the halo lights, and it's the full ring because it's the LCI model. And if we go round the back again, you can see it's got the Union Jack lights, and I'm undecided as to what to do with those lights. I might keep them with the red, because I've kept this car pretty standard with the black paint, and I've not gone for the bonnet stripes, I've not gone for too much indication that it is the JCW other than the standard badges that it comes with. So I've kept it a little bit stealth, and I think that I've seen on some websites we've got the black or the smoked grey rear lights, which I think might look a little bit better on here, but we'll see about that in the future. So how do you know it's a John Cooper Works? Well, it says John Cooper Works there, John Cooper Works there, John Cooper Works there, Again, we've got more John Cooper Works, we've got John Cooper Works, John Cooper Works. Everywhere is very proud of the John Cooper Works heritage. So what's it like inside the car? So I went for the Dynamica and leather seats. I didn't want to get the leather lounge ones. I just preferred the look of these sports seats. So I fancied those, and they're actually really nice and soft. Although they wrap you quite tightly, I am glad that I went for those other than the sports ones. I also configured it so it's got the illuminated panel there. As you can see, we've got the automatic gearbox, and it looks like these days, even though I've got the widescreen nav package, you don't get the larger iDrive controller. You get this yellow dot or the orange dot version, and I think that's because I know on my old BMW 330e you had a bit of a touchpad on that, but that's kind of redundant now. You've actually got a touch screen on the screen itself. If I go around to the other side of the car, oh yeah, more John Cooper Works. More John Cooper Works, everywhere John Cooper Works. So if I go around to the other side of the car, the first thing that you'll see is it's got the digital dash on it. So like I say, I've spec'd this out pretty much as high as it's going to go. So we've got the widescreen nav, we've got the Media XL, whatever it's called, I've pretty much got it in here. So the heads-up display, the Harman Kardon sound. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, and also in the armrest there is a wireless charging pad. Unfortunately though, iPhone XS Max doesn't actually fit in it, which is a bit of a shame. Now I'm 6 foot tall and I've got plenty of legroom. It's quite nice in here actually. I've come from having a Porsche Cayman, BMW 330e, and I've had about 4 BMWs now, and you can definitely see the styling influences from the BMWs in this car. The gearbox, especially this version, is very much like the standard gearboxes or the standard automatic gearboxes that are in the BMWs. The iDrive controller, obviously. Steering wheel's got a little bit more plastic look than you would probably expect from a car that costs about £36,000 list price, but other than that it's really quite nice. Obviously you've got the mood lighting as well that's under there. You've got mood lighting in here, you've got mood lighting in here. I might do another video in the dark about the mood lighting and the other kind of stuff that you get at night from this car, because there's also the projectors that are under the mirrors that project the Mini logo onto the floor when it's dark. But anyway, let us see what the car's like. So, as you can see, we've got the digital dash there. Now, interestingly, although it looks full black panel, only this bit in the middle is actually digital. The rest of it, that is analog, and that is just normal LEDs behind a bit of a black screen. So the only thing that's actually digital is this bit in the middle. You can see we've got the widescreen nav there, and I know this is going to be difficult, but it's got the heads-up display with 20 mile an hour indicator on there at the moment, because this car's been fitted with the front-facing camera. So we'll have a look and recognise the speed limit signs as you come up to them, and it will show you on the screen and on the digital dash there. So the usual set of controls in the middle. You've got dual zone climate control, you've got the speed for the blowers. So this car's actually fitted with the reverse parking system. I've not tried it out yet, but it is there. This car will actually parallel park itself between two cars. We've also got the start-stop on and off button. We've got the button for the engine, we've got traction control, and now it's moved away from having the sport and green toggle there, We've got it here. And then we've got the heated seats, the aircon and such like. So you've got the widescreen entertainment unit with navigation, and it also comes with Apple CarPlay, and so you can use Spotify and Waze and any other apps that you've got on your phone that are CarPlay compatible. Like I say, this car has got the Harman Kardon sound system on it. Now I have got some no copyright music on it, so I can actually give you a bit of a demo of what it sounds like. So it's quite nice. You've got a subwoofer under the passenger seat, you've got a subwoofer under the driver's seat, you've got the speakers in the front, and you've got speakers in the back there, speaker there, speakers everywhere in this car when you spec it out with the Harman Kardon, and it sounds really nice and crisp too. So let's go for a drive. What I haven't seen or heard yet is any pops and bangs from the exhaust on this. I know that some people have managed to get them from the cars with the OPF filter. Some people haven't. I've not tried it yet, really, because I'm still in the wear-in period for the engine, and I don't want to void the warranty by taking it above like 4,500 revs, and I just want to do it by the book at the moment. So I'm not going to try and get pops and bangs out of it, but you should be able to hear what the engine sounds like anyway. So, if we get going, foot on the brake, the start-stop button lights up. And then, if we just put the map on, then we can just get going. So there is actually a bit of a deep throaty growl from the back of the car, and it is augmented by piping in sound through the speakers in the way that most modern cars do these days, but it's a nice sound. It's a nice sounding car. So at the moment I've only got it in the normal mid mode. I'll put it in sport in a little bit. Let's see if we can do the parallel parking. So you move up close, stop the vehicle, reverse gear, take the hands off the steering wheel, and it wants me to brake manually. Oh my word, that is just weird. That is so freaky. Obviously, having a 2-litre engine and about 230 horsepower, it means that you're always going to be able to join the motorway nice and quick. Now, what I can show you while we're on the motorway, this car's got the adaptive cruise control fitted. So it's like normal cruise control, but it will maintain a nice distance from the car in front, and you can select the distance that you want it to maintain. So the way to activate that, you just put the cruise control on as normal, you choose the distance, you choose the speed that you want to be, and then the car, using the camera in front, it's not radar on the Minis, it's just a camera, but it will keep an eye out on what the car in front is doing, and it will vary the speed of this car so that it keeps a good distance between you and the one in front. And you can vary that up, you can get it closer, you can get it a bit further away. I've now put it on the closest setting, so it's just starting to move in behind the BMW a little bit closer, but it still doesn't get too close. it will maintain quite a large distance between you and the car in front, and I suppose that's fine. You don't want to be too close, and it gives the system a little bit of time to respond if you do need to slow down for whatever reason. So if I just get a little bit closer, there you go, we're getting a little bit closer to the Seat in front, and you can see that the speed's coming down. Now if I move into the outside lane, God knows why that car is, but you can see that the Mini's reacted. It's taking us down 50 mile an hour. That car's realised that he shouldn't have been there, and now it's got out of the way. The Mini speeds up again. Until it reaches the speed that you'd set previously. The adaptive cruise control is one of those things that you don't know that you're really going to use it until you've got it, and then you realise you can never not have it again. The amount of times I've been sat on the motorway doing 70 mile an hour with the cruise control, and then you're coming up behind a car in front and you're looking in your mirrors to overtake and it's just completely rammed, and then you've got to take your cruise control off and then slow down. Now the car will just do it for you manually, automatically, sorry, and that is just so nice. It's one of those features that I'm really glad that I've got. The other good thing about the cruise control is, like that car that just pulled in front of me there, it can tell that it's moving away, and because it's moving away, it's not slowing me down to keep that gap between it. If that car moved in front of me and stayed at the same distance, then this car would slow down and build the gap up. But while it can see that it's moving away into the distance, it just leaves it as it is. Now the reason you buy one of these, it's not necessarily for the motorways, it's for the fun that you can have on the B roads. So I'm going to stick it into sport mode, only on the car, not on the gearbox though, and let's have a little bit of fun. So immediately you feel that it's just stiffened up slightly with the adaptive suspension and the steering wheel, and you just got that little bit extra on the old throttle response as well. As far as miles per gallon goes, I've been averaging about 36.4 over the 600 miles that I've driven the car. Mixture of motorway driving, quite a bit of back roads just to get the mileage on. So I'm not particularly disappointed with that. I know it's a 2-litre turbo engine, so realistically that's not bad. I had a Porsche Cayman, that was a 3-litre 300 horsepower job, and that was only managing about 35 when you were on the motorway. So for 36.5 on average, quite pleased with that so far. So with this car in front of me, I'm going to wrap up this video now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it's been of some use to you. If you've got any questions, if you want to see anything else on the car, just leave a message in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you very much. Leave a like if you liked it. Cheers. Bye.